Hey, welcome back to Mr. Mig's Classroom. I'm Mr. Mig, and today what we're going to do is learn how to use either an Excel spreadsheet or Google Sheets, they work pretty much the same, to create our budget. So on the last video, I showed you about a budget and why to make a budget and about budgets. But this video is more about how to use Excel or, again, Google Sheets, they work the same, to functionally create the budget. So a lot of times when I'm working with my high school students, I'll see them pull out a calculator and start by hand adding up the numbers in their budget. And I go, whoa, whoa, whoa there. No need to do all that extra work, because the cool thing is this fancy program here, Excel, it is a calculator. It has a calculator built in, so we want to use that functionality and not do double work. So I'm going to start off up top. I just wrote budget in, and in case you don't know how to make these cells merge, I just clicked merge cell up here, and that helped made it merge across all three, which can kind of make it a little prettier. Over here, I'm just going to put in my net income. So last time I showed you the deductions and everything. This time I really just want to show you the functionality of Excel. So let's say after everything's said and done, after Uncle Sam comes in and takes all your money away, your hard-earned money away, then you have $2,500 left for the month. So again, we'll call this monthly budget. All right, so there's your monthly budget, and you make $2,500 a month. So down here, I'm going to list my expenses and then the amounts that I'm putting into them. So let's just make up a few things. So let's say we got rent, and I'm not going to use my same exact numbers because it really doesn't matter. Let's say yours is $750, and then you have food. And what we want to do is prioritize things when we're making our budget. So we want to put the things that you want to make sure are paid first. So you don't want to go without rent. It's not fun living on a street or under a bridge. You don't want to go without food because that's not fun either. So now we'll say total expenses, total, and here's the first cool thing that you can see about Excel. So I want to add all these up. Now, no way am I going to go through and add these up and count them and type in a number. What I'm going to do is click the equals sign, so I put in the equals sign right there. And now I'm going to write in sum, S-U-M, just like the math thing. When we add a bunch of things, we have a sum. So sum, S-U-M, and then I'm going to highlight over these with my mouse and click enter. And boom, voila, there it goes. It added all of that for us. So we'll see when I click on this, it shows me what I'm adding. I added all my items in my budget for me automatically. That's super awesome. Now, let's say I want to make things look pretty, because I like making things look pretty along the way. Here, I want to make sure I know it's a total, so I'd like to put a little line up top. That's cool. Now I got a little line up there. Now, let's look at some other things. Like here, I can't read what this is. Oh, yeah, that's right, percent of total. Let's say I want to expand this cell so I can read the whole thing. All I'm going to do is double-click right on that line. Boom, expands the cell. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Boom, expands that cell. Now, let's make this happen, too. I want to see the percent, what percentage of my total expenses rent is. So compared to everything else, what am I spending on rent? So let's go ahead and look at that. So let's say that we are spending, so we're going to do again, equals $750 on rent divided by our total. So let's see what that gives us. And that gives us a decimal. Now I say, wait, I want the percent. I don't want the decimal. That's kind of weird. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click, I'm going to highlight the whole cell by clicking C. Then I use a Mac, so it's a double tap, but if you have a PC, it's right click, and that brings this up. And then I'm going to go to Format Cells. And now this fancy thing pops up for me, and I'm going to click percentages. I don't want it to be decimal. And I don't need a whole lot of decimal places. I'm just going to do 1. You can do 0. It doesn't really matter. But boom, there it goes, 37.7%. So now I don't have to see in decimal format. And then I can do the same thing down the line to get what percentage of the total of my total amount that I'm spending, so my total expenses. Now let's say I want to see how much of my income is my rent. So I see over here, again, same kind of concept. I'm spending $750, so I'm just going to do I'm just going to kind of, whoops, didn't mean to do that. So I'm just going to do just like I did in here, where I did the rent divided by the total expenses. So now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do my rent. So I just click on the cell divided by my total income, because now I want to see the total, what percentage my rent is of my income. And again, I can do the same thing with the formatting, where I double tap or right click depending on what device you're using, and I go to format cells, and again I'm just going to click percent, and I don't want to see 2 decimals. All right, boom, and now I can do that same thing. So from here, that's kind of the big basics. So again, to go over that again, what I did to add things up, I use sum. So also, if I want to do any type of math, I simply just make sure you click that equal sign first, whether you're doing sum or whether you're adding things together. You just click the equal sign before you do it. Thanks for watching Mr. Mig's Classroom. If you have any questions, leave comments below, and remember to like, share, and subscribe to my videos.